You made it through Unit 1, Chapter 1, and you're moving on to Unit 1, Chapter 2. In Unit 1, as you recall, we talked about the overview of the e-course production method. And now we're going to talk specifically about how to outline your topic and then how to come into the studio and produce a video. Okay, and so ideally what's going to happen is you're going to receive a link from us that has a link to a folder within a Google Drive that has many subfolders in it, and it'll basically be the framework for creating your e-course. Now, within the main directory is going to be another directory called presentations or content. And you're going to open that up, and there's going to be a Google slideshow in there that's going to walk you through the process of breaking down your all of your material for your course. So we're going to start broad. We're going to say, okay, you're the subject matter expert. What we need you to do is list the 4 most important points that you want to convey to your students. Okay, those will be your main topics. And in all likelihood, those 4 main topics are going to become what we call units within the e-course. Okay, so come up with your 4 main topics, the 4 key points that are most critical to convey to your students or to your audience. Okay, and then we're going to take the main topic number 1 or unit number 1, and we're going to break it down into 3 or 4 subtopics. So what are the 3 or 4 key points that you need to convey in order for your students to understand main topic A? Okay, so you got 3 or 4 subtopic points for main topic A, and then we're going to move to main topic B, and we're going to come up with 3 or 4 subtopics that are critical to understanding that main topic. And we'll do that as many times as we need to, but ideally we're going to start off with 4 main topics, and each of those main topics will have 3 or 4 subtopics. Now, you're going to create a slideshow based on that. So you're going to basically, just like in high school when you outlined a paragraph or an essay, you'll take a slideshow and you'll say, welcome to main topic A. This is what we're going to discuss. And then the next slide will be the first subpoint of that, and the next slide will be the second subpoint of that, and the next slide will be the third subpoint of that. And if you have to break it down further, we can do that very easily by adding additional slides into the presentation. So that'll be very easy, and you'll create a slideshow based on your content. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to have animations, it doesn't have to have a beautiful background, just black and white. Tell us the facts, just the facts, ma'am, give us the facts. And then we will take that, our content developers will take that and put it into a pretty slideshow with animations, just text animations and so forth, which we will probably then use as a background for your video. So after we've gone back and forth a couple times, gone through the formative review process, and everyone's happy with the content for your subject matter, then you will come into the studio. In some rare cases, we may come to you, but for the most part, to streamline the process, you'll come into the studio, you'll stand right here in front of the green screen, and you will give your presentation. And it'll be very easy for you to give the presentation because there will either be a large screen monitor just off camera with your PowerPoint presentation on it. And as you give your presentation, you'll just use a little clicker, a remote, and you'll click through your presentation and talk as though you were talking to an audience, and we'll screen capture the PowerPoint presentation off to the side, and it'll sync up perfectly with your video presentation. And that's why when we put it behind you, it will match exactly what you're talking about on camera. And we may cut back and forth between a shot like this with your content behind you to something like this where the content is superimposed over the top of you so that your students can see it more clearly or with more emphasis. And then it'll go back to something like this where it's back behind you again. All right. So that's kind of the process of developing a video lecture. So first you create the slideshow, then you come into the studio, we set everything up like this. You click through the PowerPoint presentation using a remote, you talk to the camera as though you were talking to your audience, and then we do the rest of the magic in post-production where we superimpose the video, or the PowerPoint presentation video behind your live action video. All right, and we will do that for as many different chapters as you have in your overall presentation, right? So if you have 4 units, 4 main topics, A, B, C, and D, then for each of those topics, you'll have anywhere from a half hour to an hour of video content to provide a lecture for. And if you don't have 4 hours of content, that's fine. That just means that your overall e-course will be shorter and it'll be priced accordingly. Okay, so that's the process of creating an e-course video lecture. The next topic we're going to discuss is how to create a meaningful lab or practical exercise.